This is ECP2 and our project is an infrared string base. Our project uses a operational amplifier, the LM386, which is on the back of our PCB right here. This will convert light into sound for our circuit. Our goal in this project was to create a working instrument that functions like a bass guitar. We have 4 strings that vibrate at different frequencies, and just like any other stringed instrument, these frequencies are based on the length and the tension. These strings run all the way up and down the length of the board, and at every string at rest will block infrared light that's emitted by the IR LEDs at the top and the phototransistors at the bottom. Each of these emitters and detectors have to be precisely pointed at each other to create a clear signal. And the potentiometers we found in our circuit are very important in delivering a clear signal to the OpAmp and help tune the guitar. Our success has been varied at best.
Cool. I already have our instrument turned on. I'm going to try to play a couple notes and see if it works. It's very important that these strings be directly over the detectors so they block the actual infrared light that is transmitted to them, and then the strings, as they fluctuate and vibrate, they will vary the amount of light they receive, which signal is then transmitted through these wires and to our OpAmp board, which is then sent via at this 1/8" jack to our amplifier. So we're going to try to play a note or two, and you can hear this is definitely coming out of the amplifier and not just a simple acoustic sound. So this is visible infrared light that is being transformed into audible sound, and it does very much sound like a regular bass guitar, which for us is a huge accomplishment after lots of trials and tribulations. Let me go through the quick rundown of the building of this board. We're using a simple 2x4. As you can see, we cut a little notch in for our circuitry, for our PCBs, which we'll go over here in a second. We cut out the notch just a little bit away from the very base of it, and this is us making our PCB boards. We printed off in the most inexpensive way we could. We are using an inkjet printer, and we printed off our circuits and taped it to our copper PCBs that we cut out, which are about the size that we needed, and we drilled holes where each of the markings for our electronic devices were going to be soldered to, and just simply by using a permanent marker, a Sharpie, which it's very important that it's a Sharpie, we drew our circuit here, drew all of our connections, and then we actually put it into a corrosive solution, which then etches all of the copper away from the board, leaving us only with our necessary connections for our board. And you can see we had various success of this. This is our first attempt, which needed to be modified. And here, this is our final attempt, which actually was quite successful. This is where we're going to actually be placing our IC, which is our OpAmp here. These are several of our components, including our little OpAmp there. And this is us slowly soldering these things to it as we try to put our circuit together. And it's very important that these strings, these are the holes that we would eventually be stringing our strings to, be exactly over where the placement of all of our IR LEDs are going to be. And again, if we look over here at the instrument here, we have our 4 strings, and they're playing a simple bass. So we have visible light being transmitted into an audible bass. So you can hear that sound. This is our IR bass.